Thanks for clicking on Wayne.com for the first edition of the 2020 Inside the Zone season with Justin Kinney of Optimum Performance Sports. Good to have you.
Yes, sir.
Wasn't sure if we were going to have a show the whole summer. Wasn't sure if we were
Right.
going to have football. Not sure how long it's going to last. I think I speak for a lot of the coaches and fans. I'd rather have started late and make sure we finish rather than start on time and not finish. But here we are.
Yeah.
Actual football coming up this Friday night. What are you most looking forward to this? Because it has been, as you talked about off camera, an unprecedented type of off season.
Yes, it has.
Thank God.
Yeah, right. And I think we enter this Friday with more questions than usual because we didn't have much spring and summer practice. We didn't have 7-on-7s. We didn't have camps. So a lot of these teams and coaches are going into this Friday going, we're kind of know what we have, or we kind of know what this team has, but we haven't really seen it on the field. So last Friday with scrimmages was a big indication, a real big first indication for coaches on what they're going to have and how kids perform. But we'll really get to see it when we're actually playing games that mean something on Friday.
I want to ask you, what's been the vibe from coaches after they finally, you mentioned they haven't had a chance to do 7-on-7, do some of that camp stuff, nor have they had a chance to hit anybody else except for the scrimmage. I mean, they've been pretty much self-contained.
Yeah.
So what's the big takeaway, not only football-wise, but like health-wise from Friday and Saturday? Because I know a lot of coaches were saying, boy, we're going to find out a lot more on the health side once we actually hit somebody and play somebody and understand how some of the protocols work on the sidelines and on the field in a game-type scenario. And the scrimmage was the first indicator for that.
I think we saw just how coaches and football programs are going to have to approach the new normal. On the sidelines, spread out. Now you can go 10-10 on the sidelines instead of 40-40 or 35-35. And, just every precaution you possibly can. It depends on the county and the conference, whether we're going to have fans or not, or how many fans. It's so confusing to even try to keep track of.
Do you keep track of that stuff? Because I'll be honest.
I tried it first.
I did too.
I know. And then it was like, so Adams County does this, and the SAC does this, and then I was like, okay, no, whatever.
Yeah, it's wild. I know that we're allowed to be there,
Yeah.
and there are different rules as far as camera, and different schools want you to let people know in advance, which I'm very grateful that we're allowed to get there and allowed to show the highlights on the highlight zone here on Friday night. But, man, if you're the guy keeping track of all that stuff, man, it's got to be tough.
Good luck. And, a fascinating thing that I think will come up on Friday is I ask coaches, how do you approach the mental aspect of football coming out when you're running out of the tunnel and you're barely hearing anything? Mm-hmm. And you're used to that Friday Night Lights feel and the crowd and the fireworks and the excitement and the music, and you're not going to have a lot of that. And how do these kids mentally prepare to play football on a Friday night when they don't have that hype factor? And they're really going to have to hype themselves up. And a lot of coaches said, we really don't know. It's uncharted territory for everybody, and hopefully we're ready to play on Friday.
When you take a look at the course of this season, it doesn't matter who you're talking to, a coach, an official, an administrator, everybody has like a kind of set number of games that they think we're going to be able to play. I think the eternal optimist says 15 weeks, we can get to Thanksgiving, man. That seems like a real uphill battle.
Sure.
Just putting it out there. That's going to be, I think, very difficult to do, especially when you consider, Illinois around us has already pushed to the spring.
Yeah.
Michigan made their announcement last Friday. You'll see
Ohio cut their schedule.
Yeah, Ohio and Indiana, if you look at the map, they're kind of like the last holdouts, if you will, in the Midwest. Pennsylvania's already made their decision. So when you take a look at the course of the season, how are coaches planning, knowing that we might not get in 15 weeks of football? We might get in 8 weeks of football. We might get in 10 weeks. Hopefully we get them in, but it's not a guarantee at this point.
I think the universal message from coaches to their players is make every game count, every practice count, every day count that you're out playing football and together as a family, a football family, because they don't know when it will end. And even if they are not necessarily have any COVID cases, they may play a team that has a couple COVID cases, then they have to go into quarantine, or in the classroom things could happen. So we're already seeing some sort of trickle-down effect with some teams. Lafayette Central Catholic comes out today and says they won't start the season this week. You have Fremont scrambling. New Palestine, who's the number one team in their class that came out today. They're going to be behind the eight ball. All of Elkhart County is kind of up in the air. Mm-hmm. So It's a touch and go situation, and right now we're just going to focus on week one. I think you and I will do the same thing that coaches are doing. Let's focus on week one. Let's try to win a game in the first Friday of the year, and then move forward from there and see what happens.
I know, in talking to Michael Mosier of Adams Central, he was just saying, you know what, we're just taking it as the approach of we're just happy to play a game on Friday. He goes, if we game plan all week and on Thursday night they say you're playing somebody else somewhere else, we're going to say thank you,
right?
Because we're going to have an opportunity to play football, even if we haven't game planned all week long. They just want to play, and they've already made chicken salad out of chicken stuff, if you will,
right?
With the cancellation of Belmont's first couple of games based on the COVID cases in North Adams County. And Southern Wells, they kind of fell together with their first week game. But I think we can expect more of that this season because nobody on Thursday night was like, we're going to have 2 cancellations. And it was just like, bam, bam, back to back. And that's just the way it's going to be this year.
The Michigan decision, that affected Angola. I think their week 3 game was against
a couple of NECC teams.
Out of Michigan. Southern Wells, due to limited numbers, will not play this year. Blackford is struggling to field a team. Hammond County has called it quits. Whiting, a team that Woodland played a couple years ago for the berth in the state championship game.
In the snow.
In the ice, right on the shores of Lake Michigan. They're not playing this year. They're always a two-way power. So we're already seeing the trickle-down effect. And it's not done. I think it's going to be a week-to-week, maybe sometimes even day-to-day thing, particularly as kids get back to school and potential cases in the classroom, let alone on the football field.
Okay, so it's week-to-week, but let's start with week one.
Let's do it.
That's all we can control at this point.
It's all we can control right now.